Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I wanted to do another tattoo video. If you aren't aware, I already filmed my tattoo collection where I went into further depth of what tattoos I have, their meanings, and all of that jazz. So if you wanted to watch something more along that lines, I will link that down below. But for this one, I'm going to be doing the tattoo tag. So I have all the questions written down with some of my answers. So I'm just going to go through them. First question is, how many do you have? Some of my tattoos are smaller and some are bigger, but in total I do have 10 tattoos. The next question is, what's your favorite tattoo? So this question kind of took me a while to think about, but I would have to say, I don't know if it's because it's one of my newest ones or if it just has a lot of meaning for me, but my favorite one right now is my self-love heart. I will go ahead and show you guys that one up close again. So I kind of talked about this a little bit in my tattoo collection, but I have always kind of struggled with self-image and truly loving myself, so having that as a constant and permanent reminder is just something that's really special to me. The next question is, how old were you when you got your first tattoo and what was it? I got my first tattoo when I was 18 years old, and it is an infinity symbol with the word change in the middle. Next question is, what do your parents think of your tattoos? So my parents definitely aren't the biggest fan of tattoos. I think they just don't like the idea of them in general, but with me, I think they have warmed up to them and accepted the fact that it's how I really want to look in life, and tattoos really make me happy. So I'm hoping that they are becoming more accepting of them. I definitely think they are. And just because they don't like them doesn't mean that they completely cut me out of their lives or anything like that. I hear sometimes about how parents do that, and I think that's just really messed up. The next question is, does your significant other like your tattoos? If so, which is their favorite? So my boyfriend, I asked him in the car the other day if he liked my tattoos and what is his favorite, and he said that of course he likes them, and I don't know that he really chose a favorite one. He said he really likes my dagger, my love letter, but he thinks that they all look good, I guess. So I guess that's a good thing, but he did mention my dagger and my love letter, so one of those, I guess. Did you always love tattoos, and what has been your inspiration? So for me, yes, I have always loved tattoos my whole life. Of course, when I was younger, I didn't really think that I was gonna grow up and be tattooed, just because, like I said, my parents weren't and aren't huge fans, so I wasn't really around that culture until I kind of grew up. What first kind of got me the exposure of the whole tattoo world was the music scene that I like. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge fan of pop punk and alternative music, so a lot of people in that genre are tattooed and heavily tattooed. I would say the music scene definitely was a big part of what kind of inspired me. Do you plan on getting more in the future? Yes, of course I do. I want to finish my arm. I have a few gaps left, and I want to do my left leg, and a little bit further down the road, if I still want to, and if I get up the courage, I might get a stomach piece and a back piece, but we shall see. Which tattoo would you say was the most painful? My most painful tattoo definitely was my moth, just because right up in here on kind of my inner arm towards my armpit. Do you regret any of them, and why? So I wouldn't necessarily say that I regret any of my tattoos. I think that I just would have thought them through a little bit more. Like with my moon tattoo, I wish I would have maybe gotten it right side up and filled in or something like that, but I don't regret it. I still really like it. I just want to better it in a way, I guess you could say. And then the other thing that I wish I would have done a little differently was have my side piece be in black and gray instead of color. So I wouldn't say those are necessarily regrets. I just think that I would have done things differently. What was your least painful tattoo? So I think that my least painful tattoo, just because of the location and it didn't take long and it was just lining, would have to be my moon. I don't really remember the pain at all, so by that I think that it was probably my least painful. My Angel was one of the least painful ones also, just because it was line work and wasn't super in my ditch, so it wasn't too bad. How do you get inspirations and ideas for tattoos? So for me, I kind of think up whatever I want to have on me. A general theme of all my tattoos is positivity and being optimistic, so anything that really ties into that. Whenever I think of an idea, I definitely go to Pinterest. I have a whole board on there that has tattoo inspiration. I will kind of group together a few and then tell her, you know, put your spin on it, do what you do, and then we'll come up with pieces that way. Another thing that I like to do to make sure that I want a tattoo on me for the rest of my life is whenever I do find the image on Pinterest or online anywhere, I will either print it out and pin it up somewhere that I see every day, or I will put it as my background on my phone, something like that, to kind of give me the exposure to it on a daily basis, just to be 100 that that's what I want on me for the rest of my life. Would you get any removed? No. I just want to get this covered with something else. What made you decide to get heavily tattooed? So I wouldn't say that I am super heavily tattooed. It's just something that I kind of always knew that I wanted to be really tattooed, and like I said, I had always been into tattoos, so since probably 12 or 13, I had known I wanted at least a few tattoos, and then as I got closer to 18 and closer to now, I knew that I was probably going to be heavily tattooed in the future. I think I'm going to do a separate video about this, but tattoos just really help me love my appearance and love the skin that I'm in, so I never really had any doubts about wanting to be covered in tattoos. I just, you know, it's just a matter of time for me. If you could start over and pick different tattoos or do anything differently, would you? So I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but yes, I would do two things differently. I would get this either somewhere else or right side up and filled in, and I would get my side piece in black and gray instead of color. Have you had any issues with getting a job? I have not. So in my field of work, it's kind of one of the most accepting of them all. So the whole cosmetology realm is definitely very accepting and very welcoming of being modified, whether it's through tattoos or crazy colored hair. So I've never really had a problem with that. Some of my clients I've had definitely aren't huge fans of them, but it's okay. You're gonna get that anywhere you are, and you just have to understand that they're allowed to have their opinion, just like I'm allowed to have my opinion, and they don't really have a say at the end of the day, so I don't let it get to me too much. What aftercare do you use? I have listened to some online, even though they tell you not to. I have definitely listened to my artist aftercare rules, and I've kind of come up with my own type of thing. I would say it's more on the side of dry healing. So for the first few days, I don't really put any ointment on it. I just make sure to keep it clean and dry. And then probably by the third or fourth day, I will apply I use Lush's Dream Cream, I think it's called. I use that at night. It's definitely more on the dry healing side of things, and I found that that has worked best with my body. I definitely had some trial and error with my healing process whenever I got my lady tattoo. It's touched up now, but there was definitely some spots that probably got ripped off by my shirt in the middle of the night whenever I, you know. Do you hate your tattoos ever? And I would say I definitely don't. I feel like even in the moments of maybe not really getting hate, just because I haven't experienced that yet, I'm sure that will come, but in the moments of people maybe treating me differently because of them, I still don't even hate them. Whenever people either give me weird looks or kind of treat me differently when they see my tattoos, I just kind of have to laugh at it, you know? Life is too short to care that much about someone's appearance. The fact that some people, when they judge or whatever, they don't know what my tattoos are even about. They don't know what they mean to me. So the fact that they're judging solely based on how they look or how I appear with them is, you know, that's on them. That's not on me. And like I said earlier, tattoos make me love myself more. So I feel like I can never hate that. Where do you get your tattoos done? So my artist is at Black Hive in Jacksonville, Florida. I will leave her Instagram in the description down below. I have gone to other artists, but on my arm, it's been all of her work, and I probably will never go to anyone else just because she's amazing. Where wouldn't you get tattooed? And I'm assuming this means like placement. I don't know that I will ever get my feet tattooed because I've heard that's super painful, and I don't think that I ever will get my neck or chest area tattooed. Who knows, but I really don't think that that's something in my future. I don't know that I would ever get face tattoos except for maybe like eyebrows, but that's a different type of tattooing. The last question is, what is your most recent tattoo? So my most recent tattoos I got at the same time are my self-love heart and my dagger. I got these done in, when did I get those done? So I got my dagger and self-love heart done in October, so it has been a few months since my last tattoo session. I definitely think it will be a little bit until my next one just because I want to kind of give it a rest. I like not having to go through the healing process. That's probably my least favorite part of being tattooed, is the healing process. So that is all I have for this video today. If you guys enjoyed, please forget to give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't to be notified whenever I post some more videos, and let me know any other video ideas you guys have, any topics about tattoos that you would like me to do. I'm kind of open to anything, so feel free to leave any ideas down below. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye.